Hello, everybody. My name is Alan Urizar, and I want to welcome you today to the Monday webinar. And today I'm going to be, for the first half of the webinar, I'm going to be doing it by myself. Seth is not going to be here with us today. But then for the second half, I'm going to have Dan Rogers join us in the webinar, and he's going to be with me on the second part. And so I want to welcome everybody. Welcome. We have a lot of people. We have 27 people. So welcome to Jenna, Rodney, Charlie, Robert, Gray. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Julie, Austin, David, Charlotte, Scott, Jeff, Clara. So welcome, everybody. Today it's going to be awesome because I'm gonna be talking about something that we just launched a new service and strategy about 2 weeks ago called Product Social Proof, and we've been working, making sure that everything works smoothly, making sure that everything works good. And today I want to talk a little bit more about that. So I'm gonna do a presentation kind of explaining a little bit how the system works. We realized that we've been doing a lot of videos, but still people is not really understanding the whole strategy and why are we using this this system now. So I want to take a little bit of time to talk about that, and then after that, on the second part of the webinar, we're going to focus on Q&As. So if you have any questions about the system, if you have been using it, or if you haven't used it, or if you have any questions regarding that, we'll go over that with Dan. He's been helping us a little bit more, working on the PSP system. We call it PSP system. So let's do that, and I'm gonna hold on all the questions for the first part. But once I finish that part, then we'll go over all the Q&A. So let me just share my screen real quick so we can start working on this. So product social proof. So this is a strategy, and it's a system that we've been using, and I wanna explain a little bit how the whole system works. Now, I'm not gonna go in a lot of details because we do have tutorials that explain how each part works. So I'm not going to go in a lot of details, but I want to make sure that everybody understands how the system works and our main goals. Why are we doing this? So this is part of the strategy that we have for to be able to help our community to get positive reviews. And this should be your goal too when you're using either the PSP system, or when you're helping on the product launch group. So inside the training, you have training on how to get reviews, and these are two different strategies that we're using. But the main goal for us should be help our community get positive reviews. So the other thing is that we're trying to automate the communication process between the seller and the reviewer or the buyers. So we want to make sure that we have this system in place so that you don't have to worry about reminding your buyers, or reminding people that is buying the products to leave a review, or have this constant communication. So you can just put this create a campaign on our system, and the system is going to do a lot of the automatic work for you. So that's another one of the main goals that we have for our system. And then I wanted to cover the seller and the buyer agreements, because I want to make sure that you guys understand these. We just launched about maybe 2 weeks ago, last Friday. And we have got over 300, and I think it's like 310 different tickets that we've got. And a lot of the tickets, I would say maybe 70% of the tickets, is people asking questions that should be covered in the youth and the tutorials and things like that. So I want to make sure that we all understand our the agreement that we do when we use the system. So for sellers, we agree we fully understand that the PSP marketplace can in no way guarantee that the buyer will purchase any of the products and will leave the review or seller feedback. This is the strategy, but we understand that we as the marketplace cannot guarantee that that's going to happen. Also, we understand that the buyer will not receive any reimbursement for the purchase of the product until they have proven by screenshots that they made every attempt to leave the review and seller feedback on the product. We in no way will hold PSP Marketplace liable for our products not reviewing the reviews we expected. So if they're not leaving a 5-star review or receiving seller feedback on your account, or any repercussion by your Seller Central account. So this means that we have the system in place. We're doing everything we can, but some people or some sellers are not going to be able to do a review, and it's not the system's issue. Sometimes it could be on the buyer Amazon account, things like that. So we just want to make sure that you understand that the system is in place, but there are certain things that are out of our control. And these are all risks that we all have as entrepreneurs. So we're putting that out there. And every time you create a campaign, you're agreeing to these, and you have to click, agree. And I just want to make sure that everybody reads all of these, so they understand that everything we're doing, we have these agreements between the system and you when you create the account or when you create the campaign. Now, on the buyer side, we agree that we cannot guarantee that you're going to be able to leave a review. If your account is good, if your account, if you can leave reviews in your account, you should be fine. And also, we want to make sure that you understand that the ability to leave the review or seller feedback, it depends on your Amazon account. You will not hold our marketplace liable for any restrictions that Amazon puts. We're getting people saying, tickets from people saying, I cannot leave the review, so can you help me, or can you do something about it? That's the Amazon seller account or the Amazon buyer's account. There's nothing we can do in our end for that. We also fully understand and accept that we will not get a refund of the purchase until we have made every attempt to leave the product review or seller feedback, which includes a full review. And we're being asking for the link to the review. We're going to take that away because we don't really need that with the new process that we have. But we do need the pictures or the screenshots proving that you left the review, so the seller can verify that through the process. And then if you're not able to leave the review, you will provide full proof that you made any attempt and to do so. So that includes screenshots and everything that you can do to let us know that you couldn't leave the review. And we're trying to make sure everybody reads these and understands these because we want to make sure that our goal is to help the community, to help other sellers. So if we're not able to leave reviews, it's hard to start buying products and trying to start the process if we know we're not going to be able to do it. But if we know how to do it, if we know we're able to do it, and then for some reason Amazon doesn't let you do a review, we want to make sure that you at least try your best to leave it. And the other thing is that there are certain times and certain dates that you have to meet in order to do the reviews. But if you're not able to leave a review because it was expired, we want to make sure that you understand that we're not liable because you're being because you missed those deadlines. So you have to make sure that you understand how the whole process works, and that's what we're kind of doing this today. So our system, there's only 3 things you can do in our system. One of them for sellers is get reviews for your private label products. That's very easy to understand. And for buyers or people that is going to be leaving reviews, there's 2 things that you can do. One is you can get products for either free or a very deep discount. And 2 is going to be buying products to review. So those are pretty much the 3 things that we can do in the system. And then, once we buy the products, then we will review those products that we purchase. So when you are the seller and you're trying to get reviews, you're gonna have only one option. You're gonna have an option to create your campaign, and then you have the option to see all of your campaigns. But there's only the option to create campaigns. When you are in the seller, you can see right here on the seller tab, there's only an option to create a campaign. And this process now we have it broken down to 5 different steps, and it's very easy and very clear to fill out everything. But you have a little, we have a little question mark on the corner, and if you have any questions, you can just click on that, and we have a full video tutorial that shows you how to fill everything. So I'm not going to go in details on here because we have a very detailed tutorial that you're going to have access to the tutorial right here. And then there's a couple of important things to know when you're the seller. The first one is you need to have the buy box on your listing to be able to create the campaign. We've been trying to figure out how we can help people that don't have the buy box, but it makes this whole system too complicated to handle if we try to have that option open. We did have it open, and what happened was that people started dropping the price in here. And then when the buyers will click on it, they will see that the price was on our system was $14.99, but then when they go to Amazon, they are $19.99, and that's because they have access to edit the price on the listing. So we're not gonna be able to do that for now. So you need to have the buy box on your listing to be able to create a campaign. So that's very important to know. And the other thing is that you cannot change the price on your Amazon listings also after you create your campaign. So this is kind of talking about the same thing. If you create a campaign here on the PSP system and the price from Amazon is $19.99, don't go and change the price to $14.99 afterwards, because we need people to be able to match the price on the PSP system and on Amazon. So if you need to lower the price on your Amazon account, I would recommend cancel that campaign and then create a new one with a new price. And that's how we can manage this part of the process. But we want to make sure that you understand that if you create a campaign, don't do any changes until you finish that campaign, or if you need to do any changes, then you need to change also in the PSP system. You need to cancel that campaign and create a new one. There's no way for us to edit that information because part of the process is where you're putting money on the system to be able for us to distribute that money for all the reviewers. And if there's any change on the pricing, it complicates the whole process. Now on the buyer side, and reviewer, there's a couple of things that are very important as well. Remember that this is a strategy to help our community. We're trying to help a community, and I've seen a couple of, I can give you a couple of examples where I understand that most people are trying to get a free product or something with a very low price, but the main goal also is to help the community. So we have people that have posted their products, and they don't get any buys. Nobody buys their product. So they come back to us, and we've been trying to make changes to the system so we make sure that everybody is getting their products rotated so they can be on the first page, and we're sending emails to everybody to let them know there's a new product. But if you see something that you don't really need, like I have been buying things for pets, and I don't have a pet, but I want to help the community, so I will buy the product for pets. Even though I don't have a pet, I just want to help the community. So we have to remember that this is a strategy to help our community. And at the end of the day, once we do the review, we are getting that product, and we're getting to keep that product after, even though we're getting all the money back. So it's one of the things that I want to make sure that we're thinking about helping the community. The other thing is that if we're trying to help our members of the community, leaving a 1, 2, 3, or 4-star review doesn't really help our members. If I get a product and the product is low quality, I'm gonna make sure I can let them know that the product is bad quality through the process we have, and I'll show you in a few minutes. I'll show you where you can leave all the comments for the product to be able to let know the seller that they need to do some changes. But if I leave a 1-star review or a 2-star review on that product, or feedback for that matter, I'm not really helping them. I'm actually damaging their account. So we want to make sure that we understand that we don't want to do that, because we're trying to help our members. So people that is leaving 1, 2-star reviews, we just want to make sure that if your goal is to help our members, we're gonna do it through the process. But 1, 2, 3, 4 reviews doesn't help really the community. And then the other thing is that you cannot review the same product or the same ASIN more than one time. So if you buy 2, 3, that same product 2, 3 times, is still not helping the product. You might be thinking that you're gonna get a couple products, the same product that you like, that you want to use it, and you're gonna buy one for your husband, one for your mom, and one for your sister. You're not really thinking about helping our community in that case. And there's websites where you can buy a lot of stuff at a discount, but in our system, our main goal and strategy is to help the community. So we have been having these kinds of issues. So we want to make sure that you understand that you cannot leave more than one review on one ASIN. So buying 2 ASINs doesn't help the community, or buying the same product 2 times doesn't help the community. And we're putting implementing different things where you're gonna see that you have purchased a product already, so you don't purchase that product anymore. Things like that. We're working on adding those features to the system. But we want to make sure that you understand why are we doing this, not just because we want to be strict or we want to be want to make the system complicated. It's because we're following a strategy, and the strategy is to help our community. And also, another thing is, do not return the products after you receive the reimbursement. So basically, once you leave the review and you finish that process, you get the money back on your PayPal account. After that, do not return the product. You're getting the product basically for free or a very deep discount. So it hurts the customer. It actually hurts the seller's account if you return that product. And then if you return that product and Amazon sends you the money back, you're getting the money back twice. But it's not really helping the community. It's not really helping the system. And we've got a few situations where people are returning products after they got their reimbursement back. So we just want to make sure that you understand why we don't want you to do that. Now, if the product came damaged, or the product or we've had a few situations where the product got lost by Amazon or by UPS. So we can work out those details. But if you do it in a bad way, or just doing it not following the rules, it's not going to help the community. So we want to make sure that everybody understands that. Do not return the products after you receive the reimbursement. So how the process works. After you buy the product, you will need to wait 10 days before you leave the review. That's for everybody once you buy the product, a clock is going to start, and for 10 days, if you go to your account, you're not going to be able to leave the review. And we're going to send you reminders, and we're sending reminders, so you know when to start leaving the review. But after those 10 days, then you will have 5 days to leave the review. Within those 5 days, you can go to your Amazon account or go to the PSP system, start the process. In the process, you're going to go to Amazon, leave the review, grab the screenshot, and then put it on the system so you can finish the review process in the system. So basically, the whole process can take up to 15 days. If you do the review on day 10, then that process is going to finish on day 10. But if you end up waiting until day 5, then the whole process is going to take 15 days. So if you're a seller, you can kind of have that in mind that for each purchase you have to kind of wait about 15 days to get the review. Now, if you don't leave the review within the time, the product will become expired. So you won't be able to qualify for the reimbursement, because after the 15 days, that product status is going to go to expire, and you won't be able to leave the review. Or if you leave the review on Amazon, you won't be able to qualify for the reimbursement. And that's just so we make sure that everybody's following the same process. The other thing is, once you leave the review, the seller will verify it manually. So if when you do the review, make sure you give us the right order ID. We have a few situations where people is not really giving us the right order ID, so we cannot verify. We get the information that you left the review and you left all the information in there. But when people go to the Amazon seller account and look for that sale with the order ID, it doesn't exist. So we want to make sure that you leave the right information for the seller to verify it manually. If the review doesn't meet the criteria, meaning if you leave a 1-star review, the chances are that the seller might deny your reimbursement, and that's because that's very clear on the terms of service. We're not helping the seller by leaving a 1-star review. So that doesn't qualify you for a full reimbursement. And if the review is good, the seller will have the option to approve it. And so that's how the whole manual process of approval is going to happen. But let's say that the seller doesn't check that for 48 hours. If after 48 hours the seller hasn't done anything, the system will automatically assume that the seller is okay with the whole review, and the system is going to approve and send the reimbursement automatically. So we're trying to protect both the seller and the buyer. So we've got a few situations where the buyer left a review and it's been 4 days, and we were thinking that the seller is going to approve it within 2 days. So now we have that option automatically. So we make sure everybody's doing the right thing in the process. So having all of that information, now for reviewers, there's 2 options that you have, or there's 2 things that you can do. One is buying products. So we have our own marketplace where you're going to see all the products, how many units we have left, and a lot of the information. And again, if you have any questions, you can click on the little question mark, and that's going to give you a more in-depth tutorial. So that's the question mark right there. So the process is very easy. You select the product that you want to buy. You're going to come up to a window similar to this one where you're going to be, we're going to have a big button that says buy now. Once you click on that, then you're going to go to the instructions. And there's only 3 instructions that we have. And then we have the terms of service. So we want to make sure that you read all of these and you sign and agree to the terms of service. If you don't agree with these, that's fine. Don't buy the product, and you won't be able to help the community. But this is very easy, very simple instructions to follow. It's nothing hard to understand. Once you do that, you're gonna click on purchase on Amazon on that bottom on the green button on the bottom, and you're gonna be sent to Amazon. Let me see. I think I clicked twice, so let me go back. Okay, so yeah, so you're gonna be sent to Amazon. In Amazon, you're gonna add it to your cart. You're gonna buy it with the same regular process, and once you do that, you get your order number, and then you come back to our system and you enter the order number in this box, and then you complete the purchase, and that's all in the instructions. So it's very easy, and you have 1 hour to do this. If you don't do this within 1 hour, that purchase is not gonna be recorded in our system. So we have tickets of people saying, I purchased the product on Amazon, but I don't see the information. I don't see the pending product on my account, on my PSP account. That's because you didn't finish this process. So we want to make sure that everybody understands that you have to come back from Amazon and finish this process. And that's it. Once you do that, then you're gonna have a window where you can see all of your products that you purchase that are pending review, and then you can sort by pending review or products that have been reviewed, products that have been approved, things like that. So you have a lot of different options here. And then the next option is once the product is ready for review, you're gonna come to this same window. It's gonna say review now, and then you start the process of reviewing. And we have it also broken down in a few steps. So step one is you're gonna come to this window and you're gonna see the click here to leave a review. That's gonna send you directly to the place where you leave the review on your account. And then after you finish leaving the review, you have to come back to the same window. So once you finish leaving the review, you can just get a screenshot of this, and then you come back here, and you're gonna add. We're gonna take away this option to leave the URL because it doesn't really help anybody, and it's just a little bit confusing for some people. But the one option that you're gonna have here is to upload the screenshot of the review. And if, let's say, for any reason you were not able to leave the review, you're gonna have to click in here where you're able to leave a review. If you click no, then you're gonna have an option to leave the reason, but we still need the screenshot showing that either Amazon gave you an error or something happened that you weren't able to leave the review, and then you can save your draft or keep to the process. Then the second step when you're leaving the review, it's gonna be to leave seller feedback, and it's the same thing. You click on that green button, you go to Amazon, you leave your review, you get the screenshot of your review, and then you come back to the PSP system. You probably won't need this link anymore in a few days. If you still see this right here, just copy the link of the review on your Amazon account, upload the picture or the screenshot, and then you click to the next step. And then if you cannot leave the review or the feedback, if you click no, you're gonna have an option to leave as the reason and still upload the screenshot. After that, you're gonna go to the next step, which is gonna be this step. Number 3 is not gonna be available for everybody. It's only gonna be available for people that chose that they wanna do a video review. So if you chose that you wanna leave a video review, you're gonna have this step as an option. And this is to add the URL of the video. Now, this is, if you read right here, it says we need a video link from your YouTube channel or your Vimeo account. So you cannot upload a video here. You can only post or put the link, the URL link from the YouTube platform or Vimeo platform. So that's very important, that you have to create a video review, upload it to YouTube or Vimeo, and then get that link and put that link right here. We're getting tickets that people is asking, where do I download the video? You download it, you upload that to your Amazon, not your Amazon, your YouTube channel, and then you give us the link right here. And then if you don't have this option, it's gonna go straight to this option, which is gonna be if you think that the product is not, the quality of the product is not good enough where you can leave a 5-star review, let us know why, so the seller can know, how to improve his product. So this is where you're going to be leaving any comments about the product, or any suggestions that you can give the seller to improve their product quality. And then after that, you click submit review. And if you save this, it's not going to be submitted. It's going to be saved to your system, but you still need to come back, edit the review, and finish it by clicking submit review. So that's very important. You have to click submit review. Once you do that, then it's going to go to the seller side, and they're going to have to either do the verification manually, or within 48 hours you should have it automatically paid to get your reimbursement back. So there's we have a pricing for this service, and we've been testing different pricings, but this is the pricing that is going to be for sellers and also for buyers. Sellers, every time they want to get a product review, they're going to pay $199 for each product review. And we realize that all the costs that we need to manage the site and to have people support and servers and all of that, we really need to be at $199 to cover all the expenses. So we talked to Seth about that. And if you're a seller and you want to create an account, and we're going to have a couple more offer options for advertising, but that's going to come in the future. I just wanted to give an idea of things and suggestions that actually you as members have given us, where we can have other options to advertise within the system. But for example, right now, if you want to get 20 reviews, you're going to pay 20 for the 20 products, plus you want to pay $199 for each product. So in total, it's $39.80, and then any PayPal service fees that are incurred with the process. And then if you're a buyer, you're gonna pay $199 for each product purchase and review, but you don't have to pay when you do the process. It's just all gonna be automatically deducted after the review, and once the reimbursement is finalized, the system's gonna automatically take $199 from the reimbursement, and it's gonna go, and then the rest of the reimbursement is gonna go directly to your PayPal account. So that's the only changes that we're doing right now, and we're doing a lot of improvements to the system, but this is the more current improvements that we're doing to the system. So I don't see Dan yet. I think he should be coming on in a few minutes. But we're gonna open it for a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions regarding how the process works, or anything that wasn't very clear on the presentation, you can let me know, and I'll work on questions. And then when Dan comes in, he'll jump in and help me with questions, Q&As. So Doris says, since Amazon is not letting me write reviews in order to help the community, can I buy products through PSP using a friend's Amazon account? Yes, you can do that. You have to register, a new account on the PSP system, and just use their email address to register. And then when you buy the products, you buy them under that Amazon account. You just want to make sure that you're able to leave the review. That way, you don't buy products and then you're not able to leave the reviews. But yes, you can do that. So Esther says, the problems that you're finding with returns, multiple buyings, are those GOD members, or have you already opened PSP to non-GOD members? Okay. It's all of the members that are currently in. We have about close to 600 members right now. They're all supposed to be just one-time members. Now we realize with some of the questions that we're getting and some of the uh, behavior of some people, we realized that we probably start getting people from outside, creating accounts. And so what we're doing right now, and we should have this done maybe by the end of this week or maybe early next week, is we're gonna start the process for registration is gonna start getting more. We're gonna start to checking that. So uh, once we have that all set up, we're going to announce it. But basically, what we're going to do is for anybody to be registered on the PSP system, they're going to need to do it with the same email account, so we can verify the account on the, make sure that you're a member of Just One Dime. And this is going to become a very private system. I think we have over 1,700 people in the Just One Dime community, but I think we can manage to have this private for a very long time without having to have outside people or outside, buyers and sellers. And we can use this very good with just the people that we have, as long as we all understand what the purpose of the system is. So we're gonna start implementing those not restrictions, but we're gonna start implementing that process to where we only have Just One Dime members, because we want to make sure everybody understands. And we're noticing that some people are just trying to get free products, and that's not the main purpose of the system. So for now we're gonna keep it close to Just One Dime members, and we're gonna start implementing new processes to be able to make sure that that happens. So Bill Sai TACC, I'm not sure what is your name, but Bill says, do you need to make the purchase with PayPal? Can you buy with Visa or or MasterCard or American Express? Well, right now we only have PayPal integration right now, but if you go to PayPal, you have the option to pay with your Visa, MasterCard, American Express. You don't have to log into your account. So if you don't log into your account, you're gonna have an option to say pay with credit card, and you can use pretty much any credit card, and PayPal is gonna let you do the process without you either having an account with PayPal or opening an account with PayPal. So I know you can do that, but most people have PayPal now. And if you have a PayPal account, you can go on your settings and add the credit cards that you want to use when you're paying with PayPal. So if you pay with PayPal, you log in and then you tell PayPal, I want to pay with this credit card or this Visa or this MasterCard, and they'll use that and they'll do the whole transaction, but you're still doing everything inside PayPal. So I think if you understand that, you should be able to. I mean, everybody should be able to use PayPal to pay with any credit card or bank account. Robert, he says, I know you're asking for screenshots. What if I have trouble taking screenshots or posting it? Is there another format available to upload the picture? Well, I think, can you tell me kind of like what kind of troubles will you have taking a screenshot? Because that's the easiest way to prove that we have that that you have left a review. But I don't know about any other formats. I don't know, maybe PDF. If you can create a PDF of the receipt or something like that. But we just want to make sure that we have a screenshot, and there's free software to take screenshots, and maybe you can just look up any of these softwares, because it's the easiest way I know to do that. Now, if you have any other recommendations, Robert, you can send a ticket and give us an idea of what do you think we could add. And I've been we've been collecting all of the suggestions that we get from the members, and we're implementing a lot of things that we're getting from the members. So if if you can do that, we'll take that in consideration, and if there's another format that we can add, we'll add it for sure. So Dash says, Alan, it used to be 50 free credits for Just One Dime members. Is there any change on that? No, you can if you register using the special link that we have for Just One Dime members, you should get your 50 credits. If you didn't use that special link and you register and you don't have any credits, you can send us a ticket and we'll add those credits. But now with the new process, we're gonna need you to register with the same email that you use for Just One Dime. Otherwise, you're gonna have to create a new account. Akbar says, how can I swap accounts on PSP since I have one more account with my partner? You can create another account if you like, Akbar, but just make sure that you're using the accounts or the emails that you use on your to register your Just One Dime account, because we're gonna be verifying that now. And if you send us a ticket and you explain the situation, we'll work with you. So it's just the processes that we have automatics are gonna go that way, and then we'll be working on a one-to-one basis with any special situation.
Hello, Alan.
Juan, how are you?
I'm good, and you? Sorry, I'm a bit late.
That's okay, man. I know you were busy, and I appreciate that you're taking a little bit of time to jump in and help us with Q&As.
100%. I saw this presentation earlier. It looked really good. So how is everything going?
Everything's good. I'm answering questions, and I just answer Akbar's question. So I don't know if you want to jump in and help me with the questions, and I'll work on answers.
Okay, so that one about swapping your accounts.
Yes, that's right.
So let's see here. So Doris asks, thanks, Alan. So the email address registered in PSP needs to be the same as the buyer's Amazon account. So does that need to be the exact same email?
No, I don't think so. I think once you click on the link to go to Amazon, you can buy that product with any Amazon account that you have. But the process within the system, it's gonna have to be with the email that we have recorded from your Just One Dime membership. But you can buy with on the Amazon side, you can buy with any account to be able to leave the review.
Okay, and then Clara asks, the seller has to pay sales taxes, right? Does the buyer receive sales taxes back?
Well, most of the products that we are that the sellers have are FBA. So whatever the price, the FBA price is, that's what they're gonna get a refund. So for example, if the product on the Amazon site says that it's $19.99, and then you're buying that product and you end up paying $25.99 because you had to pay taxes, we're gonna do a refund based on the $19.99 price. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I think there was also questions related to this on what if I don't have Prime. So occasionally people would actually be paying the shipping as the customer on Amazon as well. And I think what you said, Alan, covers it best, because otherwise it gets too complicated.
Right.
With different amounts. Some people have Prime, some people don't. So I think it should just be that, as you said, just that's whatever that product's selling at, that's what you can expect to be reimbursed for that product. And Jeff asks, does a campaign have a limit, or can it go as many units as you need for as many days as necessary? So go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, this is an update that we're working on, and it should be done or should be ready for maybe Thursday or Friday this week. So basically, we're gonna changed the way that we set up the campaign. So instead of saying, okay, we have, do you want to set up a campaign for 7, 10, 15, 30 days? And then having to, just have that campaign open for that amount of time. We're going to change it. So instead of that, now we're going to ask, how many units do you want to sell? 20? Okay, that's fine. How many units you want to sell a day? In case you want to sell, 2, 3 a day for a long time, we're going to ask those questions. And then we're going to run the campaign active until we sell all of the units. And I think that's one of the big issues we were having, where people is setting up, I want to sell 50 units, but they only put 10 days on the campaign, and after 10 days they only sold 8 units, and now they have to create a new campaign and go through a different process. So we're gonna make everything easier, and we're just gonna ask you how many units you want to sell, how many units you want to sell every day, so you can spread them out. But let's say you want 20 units in one day, you'll be able to do that. And if we have enough members logging in every day, you might be able to sell all of them on 1 or maybe 2 days. But we'll change that for sure in the next few days.
Yeah, and that's a really good question as well. Jeff, good question. Otherwise, you're having to set up these campaigns again and again. So I think that update's going to be awesome, Alan. And then Esther thanks you for the clarification. And Elena or Elena, I have 2 Amazon stores, one of which is not a partnership with another JOD member. Can I use product social proof for both of my Amazon stores? So can a seller use it for multiple stores, or is that going to need 2 separate product social proof accounts?
You can do either way. Well, if you want to, let's just say if you want to sell products from 2 different accounts, you can do it. Now we eliminated the need to connect to your seller account, so you don't need to do that anymore. So you can sell products on the UK, Canada, the US without having to do any backend connections to your seller account. And if you like, you can sell from different Amazon accounts on the same PSP system, and just manage that internally, to know which ones are from which account. But if you want to have 2 separate PSP accounts, you can do that. Just send us a message letting us know or explaining why, and we'll work with everybody. But this is gonna have to be like a one-on-one situation that we have to work out.
Yeah, I don't think it would be needed too much, because when you input that ASIN, in, it's going to recognize the marketplace and where it's from. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Right.
And then Muna asks, so it means that an outsider cannot register into the product social proof and use that system, someone outside of just One Dime?
Yeah, no. Right now we decided we're gonna leave it internally as our own strategy and our own secret weapon, because we have enough people in the community to be able to to help everybody. And I don't know if in the future we're gonna change that, but we're thinking on adding other things to be able to help sellers in our community. So yeah, for now it's just gonna be internally, but we're working on other things that are gonna be coming up this year.
Yeah, I guess a tough one actually, because when you open it, obviously you have a ton more support, but then we also have all the security issues. So
right,
in good time. And then Doris asks, so you just said that the email address used in product social proof needs to be the same as the Facebook group. So I cannot use a friend's account. Is that correct?
No, I think we're getting a little bit confused here, because the email that you need to register your account on the PSP system needs to match your Just One Dime membership. But if you're using another person's Amazon account to buy, because I know Doris asked that if she can use a friend's Amazon account to buy the product and then do the review, you can do that. But the PSP system, you have to register your email account that you use to register for just one dime.
Okay, and next question is Drakenzo. So do we still have to do a Facebook launch if we are doing it through PSP? So I'll take this one if you want, Alan.
Sure.
So with Product Social Proof, you're obviously launching on there. We have reviewers coming there and purchasing products when they're available on that front page. But the best way, I think, to do this is to combine both. So also do a launch post on the Facebook launch group, and this promotes your PSP launch with a link to it. So as you've created the listing on PSP, you'll actually see a little link. It will say this is, I think, promotion link. And that is the link you can actually copy and put onto your Facebook launch post. And then this way you're going to drive far more traffic, because not only do you have PSP users looking at PSP, but also members looking at the Facebook launch group as well. Okay. Okay, here, I'm not sure what this relates to, Alan, just on the JPEG and the different image.
Yes, Monty is suggesting Jing as one of the free screen capture software. Somebody was asking about if you don't have a JPEG or a picture, a screenshot, how can you do it?
Okay. And
yeah, so Jing, it's a free software that you can use to capture an image from your computer. You can look that out on Google and download the free software.
Okay, and then Elena asks, what is the amount to pay in PayPal to be an active seller on Product Social Proof? So that's going to depend on the amount of your that you're looking to sell. Is that correct, Alan?
Yes.
Okay.
So, for example, let's say your product, just for easy math, let's say your product price is $10, and you want to sell 10 units. You're gonna have to put those $10 for each unit on the PayPal account on our system. Paying with your PayPal account plus the fees. So you're gonna put $100 plus $20 for the PSP fee, and then any PayPal transaction fee, which is gonna be a few dollars. So you're gonna end up maybe putting $130 on the, or $125 on the system, and that $100 that you put in there, that's what we're gonna use to reimburse all your buyers once they leave the review.
Okay, and I like the way you've set that up as well. You can't actually make that campaign live until you've actually funded the account with the exact amount that you're looking to launch.
Right.
So it's going to be totally based on the amount of sales that you're looking to generate, amount of reviews you're looking to generate. And Julie asks, where do I find the PSP tutorial? So we got a few of those. We have one main one when you sign up. That was actually a PowerPoint from one of the Tuesday webinars, I remember.
Yes.
Pretty detailed, but it doesn't do exact screen sharing of the tool itself. But then we do have other PSP tutorials, current ones, sharing screen, showing you exactly how to do specific steps. And any information on that, Alan, on where those are going to be exactly on the system, or
yes,
what's
I'm going to share my computer, my screen, because on the presentation I was telling you that in any screen, if you see this blue question mark, if you click on that, it's going to open up the tutorial for that section. So we're working with Dan to have a tutorial on any section that we think needs a tutorial, and the system is very easy. We only have three main processes that in the system. So we're trying to have a tutorial, and so for example here, if you click on that, it's going to open up a video, and you can see that video, and it's going to explain how the whole review tab works, what are you seeing here, and all of that. But in any page on the system, if you see a question mark, that's going to be a tutorial.
Great, and let's see here. Okay. So Joker says, I like this new system. As a buyer, you may get a product pretty much for free, but you're not required to leave a 5-star for a bad product. You won't get your money back then, but that's the risk you take. And also there's a really nice feature in there where you can, for specific products, maybe you get a product that you feel isn't as at the quality that you would like it to be. You can give that seller still a decent rating, and then there is a section where you can input your real feelings on that product or how they could improve, and constructive criticism without completely destroying the launch. That way, the seller can still get up and moving, but we'll take your feedback on board. I think over time the Amazon market will determine which products are high quality. And then, hello Esther, nice to see you as well. Okay. Akbar. Hello Akbar. Okay.
I want to put. I want to also input a little bit more on what Georges is saying. And if you go back to the presentation, I don't know if he was here by when I was doing the presentation, but you have to understand that the whole purpose of this system and this strategy is for us to help the community. So leaving a 1, 2, 3-star review is not really helping the seller. So if you get a product that it's low quality and you don't want to leave a review, send us a ticket. Don't leave a 1-star review and then expect that the seller is going to approve the reimbursement, because then the seller is not going to be happy, and we might be able to do it one time, but it's it's not gonna it's not really helping the community. We cannot force anybody to leave a 5-star review, but if you cannot leave a 4 or 5-star review, let us know so we can make sure that the seller improves the quality in the product. Leaving a 1-star review it's really it really hurts the product, and that's what we're trying. Our main goal is to help the community, so we're trying to put systems in place where that doesn't happen. But yeah, if you get a bad product, I think the best action will be to communicate outside the process, so we can make sure that that the seller improves the quality.
Awesome, Alan. And then Krish asks, will I still have access to PSP if my JOD membership expires? So these are separate. Is that correct, Alan?
It is separate. If I have to ask Seth, because I'm not sure about that. But I'm sure if you communicate with us via a support ticket, we'll definitely work out something with all the members. But for now, the only process that we're going to implement in maybe a week or so, it's going to be any new registration we're going to have to make sure that it's just one-time member, so we keep this within our community for now.
Okay. And then leading on from that, that point, the reason you want the just one time email, that's because this is the way you verify that that's a JOD member. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's correct.
Okay. And so if someone, Akbar is asking here, if he has a different email on the system currently, would you advise him to swap that over, to change that?
No, he can let us know through a support email, and we'll
Okay.
figure out.
Okay. But yeah, at this point, I think most of the people in the group are members anyway. So,
Yes.
okay. And then there's also a good one here. So this is a good question as well. So Drazenko asks, with product social proof, there's no more need for FBM. Is that correct? So
That's
that
correct.
is, yes,
Sorry
thankfully that is
about
correct.
something.
So yeah, this is a good one because it's, I mean, if you guys did the old method, it was like way more time, way more complicated, so much more. So but thank you guys for all testing this and letting us know what's, what needs to be improved. I think it's far better personally than the older system. And okay, so Robert says, I remember Seth saying only to go there once a week at the most. Is that still true or not? So Robert, are you referring to product social proof itself? I wouldn't say there's a limit on that. Alan, is what do you think here?
There is no limit. I think he's referring at an old maybe an old video about the lunch group where we will only have lunches every Friday. Now it's open to every day, and you can jump in every day and see what's selling for the day, and you can buy it. The only thing I would caution people is if you're not a very if you're not a constant reviewer already on Amazon, and all of the sudden, you haven't left a review in 2 months, and all of the sudden you start leaving, two, three, four reviews a day for a week. Amazon is gonna, flag you for a little bit, and they're gonna maybe um, take that privilege away for a month or a few weeks. And that happened to me at the beginning a long time ago. It took me like 3 months, to get my privilege back, because I just started buying 10, 20 units, and then leaving reviews for all of them every week. And so I would recommend, you start, a few, two, three, four reviews a week. That should be good. And also review other things that you buy on Amazon. I always take time to just review other things, and you say, thank you, I like the product. And then products that I don't that I have to return, then I don't leave reviews. But I try to leave reviews for all the products that I purchase on Amazon, just so Amazon sees that's just a regular thing for me. And then if I increase it to maybe 10 reviews a week, Amazon is not gonna care about, because I have a history that I've been leaving reviews for a long time. And I think that might be happening to some people, where they just started getting products now and leaving reviews, and Amazon kind of, it raises a flag to Amazon, where they just might not let you do reviews for a little while.
Okay, excellent. And Alan, here I think we should start wrapping it up, just
Sure.
to respect your guys' time as well. I know you've been here longer than me, but this is quite a good question here. So Charm says that she recommended PSP to a friend a little while back, and that friend did join when we were keeping this public. Do you think she can keep the account, or what's your feeling on that type of situation?
Yeah, we'll just send us an email, and we'll assess that. What we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that everybody understands the process. And if we just open to everybody, outside just one dime, and we've seen it already with a few people. I mean, 500-600 people is a very low user amount for a system that could be 10,000 users or more. and we already started seeing some people not doing what they're supposed to do, but it's mainly because they don't understand the process and the strategy. So as long as we can make sure that everybody that is in the system understands, I think we shouldn't have any issues, and we're going to start just by having this community, having this available for the community first.
Okay, great. Do you want to take a couple more here, Alan, or what do you think?
Sure. If you want to take just two more, I think that's
Okay.
the only two that are here.
Okay.
Dash and Jeff, I think.
Okay, let's do that. So, can I sell my product at a higher price to friends and family before actually launching on product social proof and then launch it on social proof at a lower price? Would that be something that's a good idea?
I think it is. If you have people that are willing to help you that way, because everything at this point of launching is just to help your product do better. The only thing I will be careful is make sure that these friends and families are not connected to you on social media and things like that. Um, but then if you have history of your product selling at a higher price, and then when you create your campaign on the PSP system, just make sure that that's the same price that you have on Amazon, and then you should be good. It actually helps you if you have a history of higher price sales.
And Jeff asks, I've done a few PSP purchases now, and in the customers who purchased this item also purchased other items. In that category on the listings is basically all these items from product social proof. And we've all seen this. So what are your thoughts on that? Is that concerning? What do you think in terms of that, Alan?
I've been trying to recommend everybody to do one order per purchase, and I think that's just because that way you kind of have everything separate, and Amazon doesn't start doing that, and then we're starting to see where if people is just doing a whole one order on Amazon with 10 items, Amazon thinks that that's related, because it's an algorithm, and they start showing that. But that's just that might show up only while people is doing it, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to educate the users to where just buy one unit per order on Amazon. That way you don't mix those products. And then we're thinking about adding a feature later on where we're gonna suggest you what kind of products to buy together, and that's gonna help the sellers on launching products, and maybe launching two different products on the same campaign or things like that. But that's actually a feature that is going to be available later on, and that's going to help. But for now, I would recommend just buy one per order. That way, you can kind of keep it clean with Amazon's algorithms.
Yeah. And when there are a whole bunch of related product or customers who purchase this also purchase this,
Mhm.
when people follow the links from product social proof, there's no real way of tracking that. Is that right? So they purchase on Amazon, and then there wouldn't really be a way of tracking that.
No, with the way we have it set up right now is every time you click on go to the Amazon, we're masking that IP. So instead of they seeing that it's coming from the PSP IP address, they're gonna see that it's coming from your actual IP address, the user's IP address. That way they don't really see that everybody is coming from the same place.
Okay. Excellent. And then just a last one here as well. So when you lost your privileges, Alan, for the review, what did you take any action in terms of calling Amazon, or do you leave that alone until it settles?
I did a few times. I called Amazon, but they don't. Most people they didn't really know what I was talking about, they will tell me just to go back and make sure and check the website. They're not really very helpful on that department, because they just kept sending me to check and maybe use a different browser and things like that. But we know Amazon takes privileges away. We just have to kind of wait a little bit. And the only one thing that I noticed was that I started being able to leave reviews on my cell phone or my mobile way before I got that option back on my desktop. So I started doing reviews on my cell phone before, and then one day it was just there again.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Alan, for putting this whole thing together and for inviting me to join you. Really good questions. And thank you to everyone who's also using social proof. I think it's together we can make this thing really, really good.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you very
but
much, guys, for your time, and I hope this helps everybody. And like I said, if we all think about the main goal, being able to help the community, I think we can really have something very powerful here for all the sellers, not just the sellers, not just the sellers, but also buyers, and also people that is going through the process, and they're going to be launching, in 2 3 months. By then we should have a very powerful system, where you shouldn't have to be worried about getting reviews, if we do this, if everybody does this, with the whole goal to help the community.
awesome, Alan. Thank you so much for having
All
me
right,
on
guys.
and hope everyone has a good week.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye bye.